everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to part 2 of Let's Build a Mediterranean House. Today we will finish up the roof and paint on the exterior walls. The first thing that I'm doing is getting rid of that little, bump out area there. It was going to be for a fireplace, but I can just have the chimney exposed and it'll probably look better. And I was experimenting with making a 1/4 height wall and then putting the main roof on that area on top of that, because I thought maybe it looked better to have some different roof heights going on, but I don't really think it looks that great. So I ended up getting rid of it just because it looked weird having it be that much higher up. And also I did change the tile of the roof from what it was before. I looked around Monte Vista and changed it to what a lot of the other houses in Monte Vista are. And as you can see there, I got rid of that extra wall there and just put the roof back to how it was. And now I'm just adjusting some of the roofs. And I noticed that that one right there wasn't sloped at the same angle as the other one next to it, so I changed that. And this was the part of the roof that I really did not like, this area right here. I wanted, like I said, I think I said last episode, I wanted to do a vaulted ceiling, but I was too tired to do it when I was actually taping the first part. So this time, I'm going to actually do a vaulted ceiling here. And as you can see, I'm also redoing the roof back there because I just really don't like how it looked. And here I'm putting in a roof over the entrance area just to make the entrance look a little bit grander. And I was looking through at the 3 wide doors just to make sure there was a nice one that could go in there, because in order to make it symmetrical, the door will have to be 3 tiles wide. And now I'm putting in an extra floor there for the vaulted ceiling to go in, since I didn't want to put it on, I didn't want to make the walls on the first level vaulted, because that could get a little bit messy. So I'm just making another level in there to make vaulted. And I'll talk through how to do the vaulted ceilings as best I can. So making the vaulted ceilings is pretty much just using the constrained floor elevation sheet to gradually lower the levels down so that they look like they're slanted. And initially I did it right on the floor here, but soon I realized that it became a little bit tricky when you wanted to do other ones. So in order to make the vaulted ceiling, I ended up having to make, I guess, kind of what you could call a scaffolding, which is a technique that a lot of other builders use as well, where, as you can see here, I'm just making some walls outside there, and basically I'm going to lower this wall here down to the heights that I need it and then drag it across over there. And it can be a little bit easier than just lowering the floor above the walls you're gonna shape. I'm not exactly sure how to say that correctly, but hopefully you guys know what I mean by that. But as you can see here, I lowered that wall down a little bit, and now I'm dragging it across over to there to lower that floor how I want it to be. And I'm doing the same thing now, just making that a little bit lower and then dragging it over. And as you can see, the ceiling is now sloped, and that's basically how you do a vaulted ceiling. So it's really not that complicated once you get the hang of it. And now I'm just lowering the rest of the walls over there down to that 1/4 level height. And now that I've done that, I'm just adding back in the walls on that turret area. And I think I'm just going to leave those be full height. I was originally thinking about lowering them a little bit since, they're bumped up a little bit higher by the 1/4 level under it. And now I'm putting the roof back over it. And to cover that other area, I'm just putting a gable roof all the way across. And I think that looks a lot nicer than how I had it before. And something that I realized was that I couldn't put a roof over the vaulted ceiling, so I actually had to do the roof and then redo the vaulted ceiling again under it. And I actually cut out the bit of me redoing it because it's pretty much the same exact thing I did before, and as you can see, it's right there. And like with the vaulted ceiling I did on my Let's Build an Apartment, you can't see the ceiling tiles right away, so you kind of have to do a bit of a trick, I guess, to get it to show through. And I couldn't, because it's kind of hard to see the ceiling tile under those 1/4 ceiling. And pretty much what you need to do to get to show up on the vaulted area is you need to be able to see the ceiling tile on one of the flat areas, and then hold floor tile up to it and then hit shift, and then from there the floor tile will cover the rest of it. And I actually had to make the wall normal height in that area to be able to see the floor tile under it. And I actually wasn't able to see the floor tile until I deleted that wall right there. And I don't know why that is. I guess it's some kind of glitch because as you can see, it disappeared once I put the wall back in. And as you can see, I held shift over that, and now you can see the nice vaulted ceiling. And I just think it's a really nice look. Like, it's, you don't really see it unless you're doing the fly through, but it's just a really nice realistic detail for, you know, your Sims home. And I just like adding realistic details that are a little bit tricky to do, because I just really liked my homes to be as realistic as they can be. And now I was just flattening the land back to how it was, and I had that stubborn ceiling showing there, but deleting that floor tile got rid of that. Then I just looked at the vaulted ceiling under there again. I really like I said, I just really like how the vaulted ceilings look, and now I'm just getting rid of that last bit of foundation there. And the last bit of roof that I had to put on was the entrance roof right there. And I think having the little roof there looks a lot better than how I had it after the last episode. So I really think this looks so much better than how it was originally. And after looking at that there, I think it looks a little weird having that open area under that roof there. So I was trying to put some walls in to close it a bit. And now I'm just trying to get that roof as low as I can, because I can only load so far, otherwise the vaulted ceiling will show through, and I don't want that to happen. Now I'm just looking over all the roofs and trying to make sure that the heights look fine. And when I came back around to the middle part there, I realized that having it go down by a fourth level each tile was a little bit too steep of a slope, so I'm actually going to make the roof slant a little more gradually. So before I was lowering it by one staircase, I guess, which lowers the wall by a fourth height. So what I'm doing now is I'm holding down the Alt key and lowering it by one stair increment. So I'm going to make the tiles go down by a fourth of a wall height. So it'll take a one more tile for it to get down to the 1/4 height level, if that makes any sense. Hopefully I'm explaining well, but pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just making it slope a little more gradually so it looks better. Just because, like I said, I really didn't like how sharp it was before. Here I'm just lowering it by another 3 step level. And after doing this, now I'm making that whole little area there the same height and just dragging it over. And as you can see, it's definitely much more gradual than it was initially, and it looks a lot better. I think another adjustment that I'm going to make to the roofs, not in this part, I didn't do it in this part, but I think in the next part, I'm going to make an arch above the balcony on the second floor and also above the entranceway, just to add even more detail to this. Because I just really want this to be a very detailed Mediterranean house. And now I just have to lower it down one more time to get it down to that 1/4 wall height. And this is another thing that I may eventually do a tutorial on, because I really don't think I'm describing it that well here, because it's kind of hard to describe it when it's being done at about 3 times speed. But now it's now that that's lowered down to the 1/4 height level, so the more gradual vaulted ceiling is done, and I really do think that looks a lot nicer than it did before. As you can see under here, it's a little bit more gradual, and it looks a lot more realistic than it did before. So I'm pretty excited to see how that looks once I take out the floor tile below it and view it from the room below. I think it's really going to look nice, and it's really going to make the living room look very grand and luxurious. So that's pretty much all the roof adjusting that I did. And here you can just see what the house looks like with the pretty much done roofs. Like I said, the only adjustment I think I'm going to make is adding a few arches in. And the last part of this video will be doing the wall paintings on this house. And I actually went out into the town and saved one of the patterns that on one of the houses that I really liked. It's kind of a subtle beige brick pattern. I feel like it's more interesting than just having the walls just be a plain stucco color. And as you can see, I also used the wall with the brown and put some brownstone edging on it, just to make things a little more interesting. I'm not sure if I feel like that brown may be a bit too dark, so maybe I'll change that. I'm not exactly sure, But my wall painting process is kind of tedious. Like, I guess really would have been quicker if I just put the plain wall over the whole building and then just added the edges. But no, I had to do it bit by bit. I don't know why I do that sometimes. But the wall painting on this house is a bit more plain than I usually do. Like, usually I use 2 or 3 or even 4 different wall coverings. But this house is pretty much just this wall paint here, with stone in a few spots, and there's really not a lot of stone, but this is just keeping with the Mediterranean theme, because most Mediterranean homes have either white or beige paint, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's not a whole lot of different kinds of wall coverings on them. This house may not look very detailed right now, and that's just because when I build, usually I start with more of a basic outline, and as I go, I become more and more detailed. Like, I don't build the houses in parts, like build one part, make it fully detailed, and then move on to the rest. I just build an outline of the whole house and add in more and more details to it. And I don't know, I guess that's a little bit different than what some people do. I mean, I guess everyone just has different ways of doing it, but that's the way that I do it. And like I said in the last one, I'm really excited to finish this and get to play it in my Let's Play. Hopefully I'll still be doing my Let's Play long enough and they'll get rich enough to move into this. And I'm having a lot of fun with my Let's Play. I guess I'm just going to talk about that for a little bit, because it is kind of related to this, since, this house is for my Let's Play Sims. Something that I've noticed is that it does seem like a good bit of the people who start World Adventures Let's Plays get bored with them pretty quickly, but I don't think that's really happening with me. Like, I can see this Let's Play going on for a while. I mean, I have seen some World Adventures Let's Plays that, went on for a long time or are still going on, and hopefully mine will be one of them, because it just seems like with World Adventure Let's Plays that a lot of them just don't last long. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I guess it's just because a lot of people have said that World Adventures is their least favorite expansion pack and that they just don't really see a purpose for it, but I actually really like it, so that's why I chose to do a Let's Play of it. I think I'm going to try to be kind of regular with my uploads of this and my World Adventures Let's Play. Like, what I was thinking about doing was doing the Let's Plays Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then doing this series Tuesdays and Thursdays, so there will hopefully be an upload every weekday, and then the weekends I probably won't really upload anything. I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to keep up with that once the school semester starts, but I'll try to as best I can. Like, it might slow down a bit, but like this week and next week I should be able to do that. And the reason why I'm doing the Let's Play more than this is because it does take more time to make an episode of the Let's Build series, since a Let's Play is pretty much I just record for a half hour, cut out the bits, the loading screens, and the bits where they sleep and do boring stuff, and that's about it. So really, it's like in less than an hour to make a Let's Play episode, but for the Let's Builds, it's about an hour of building, and then about an hour to edit the video, and then, do the commentary over it. So it takes at least twice as long to make a Let's Build, so it's just easier for me to make more Let's Plays. Now that I'm looking at this again, I'm not really sure that I like that stone wall pattern that I used. I may just take it out and make all of the walls this stucco brick type pattern, even though that would mean there's only one type of wall on this, but I guess it doesn't look that plain since it's not just one plain wall color. And now I'm pretty much just finishing up the wall painting here, since this is the last bit left. Oh, another thing that I actually forgot to mention before is that with this series, I'm actually hoping to keep the episodes around 15 minutes in length, unlike Let's Build an Apartment where I kept it at 10 minutes. And that's just because I feel like not a lot gets done with a 10-minute episode. So making the episode 15 minutes is about 15 more minutes of building in real life, so a bit more gets done. And the paint is pretty much done, except for here I decided to take out some of the border on the turret to make it look a little more plain, because I felt like it was just too busy. And then actually ended up taking out all the border on that. And I guess it looks a bit better like that. So this is pretty much all that was done in this episode, and Next time I plan to put the windows in and also add some extra details to the outside, such as making some arches like I mentioned earlier. And here you get a nice, slower overview of what was finished in this episode. So hopefully you guys like this, and be sure to give it a thumbs up if you do. And if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye!